Hey there everyone, Richard here from the SoDak Motorcycle blog. Hopefully things are going well for you, hopefully everything's okay for you, hopefully you're stocked up good in our fun coronavirus times. Now with that being said, they're not saying we can't still have a party and enjoy each other's company. Now stick with me for a second. So we're going to have a party coronavirus style, and we have several things going on. Obviously we have Geezer 2, the Goldwing. That's a guest of honor, because we got some special things going on today. Also, some of the special guests I have is a wheel balancer from Harbor Freight, about $40. Some wheel weights from Harbor Freight. Metal valve stems for tires. Set of spoons from Revzilla. Some rim protectors. Bead lube. And 2 tires for a motorcycle. If you haven't figured out yet, yes, we're going to change tires today, and well, this is the party we're going to have. We're going to have a tire changing party. So, fun times are going to be had by all. Now, going over the parts list here. Now, normally, let's back up a little bit. Normally, what I would do is I would take my tires off, I'd take them down to one of the local dealerships and have them mount the tires on. Now, I bought these tires, it would have been about a week ago. A week ago last Friday is when I bought the tires. When I was going through this, I figured, you know what, I better buy everything to do it here at home by myself, just in case by the time this week were to come along, we'd be under shelter-in-place orders, and maybe they'd shut down the, I don't know where it is, how it is where you are. I know some places are shutting down the motorcycle dealerships and maintenance, other places they're not. Either way, I didn't want to take the risk, and I figured what better time than now to kind of learn how to do this on my own. Now for me it costs about $40 a tire to do the mount and balance, so that's $80. Well, for about that same price, a little bit more than that, I was able to buy mostly all the tools I need. So this wheel balancer here from Pittsburgh, it's not the most expensive thing in the world. It was like 40 bucks. The big thing with the Pittsburgh balancer, make sure that when you're looking at that rod, look at it pretty closely. They have a tendency to come out bent and warped, but mine's actually one of the good ones. So, also I bought my wheel weights from Harbor Freight, and you can get them for about 10 bucks there. Now, as far as the other parts go, so obviously you're going to need some kind of tire lube for your tires. Some guys do Windex, I've heard of that. Other people, you could do soapy water. One thing, if you're going to do soapy water though, make sure your rims are not aluminum rims, because aluminum rims, it has, what'll happen is with the soapy water, you'll end up causing some corrosion, could give you some tire problem with your tires and rims later on. So I actually went and bought the actual proper stuff, the bead lube. Now you can get this here, is about 13 bucks at O'Reilly Auto Parts, and you can't get it right away. Usually you gotta wait, you gotta order it, and it gets there the next day, but still. 13 bucks, you get a full gallon, and basically it makes, you put a quart of water in with it, and it makes it for the mixture, and it's not a terrible price for having the right stuff. So, additionally, if you don't want to ruin your rims, you're probably going to need a set of rim protectors. Now these rim protectors here, they were $10 from Revzilla. Also you're going to need some kind of what they call tire spoons, which here's a set of 3 here from Revzilla for $27. Now you can get kinds that have the bead breaker and whatever on it. As far as bead breakers go, you can buy, like I think Harbor Freight sells about a $50 one. You can make, I've seen some crazy homemade ones on the internet. I've seen people where they'll big long 2x4, stick another 2x4 in and use the pinch weld on a vehicle to do it. For me, I'm just going to use a big old, we're going to start with a big old C-clamp. That's what we're going to use, because really you just need something, just enough on the tire to pop it off that bead. That's really all you need. Now, as far as the tires go, tires we're running, it's going to be a set of Dunlop Elite 4s. Of course, since I'm running GL1800, GL1800 calls for radials, so these are both radial tires. Wingstuff.com sells these at a set for $395. If you got a Goldwing and you want Dunlops, the combo set's the best thing you could get, as far as I'm concerned. Also, another thing you should probably do with your bike is put a set of metal valve stems on. The regular valve stems, they're chintzy, they wear out pretty easily. In fact, my front tire, when I get to that point, I'm going to show you what happens why you got to replace those valve stems every single time, because that rubber will crack eventually. And I've had it before in the past where I rode to work one day and the tire felt spongy, and it was because there was 20 pounds of air that had come out of it. Fortunately, I caught it, and also that I found the culprit of it was the valve stem, because the valve stem had worn out a little bit, and it was one of those that didn't get replaced the time before when I replaced the tire. So, lesson learned, metal valve stems, and like I said, that will help you a lot and save you some down the road. These curved ones, they're show chrome kind. I believe they're about $12 from Wing Stuff. They come in a paired set. If you buy the chrome ones, they're single, but the other ones all come in a paired set. This is a paired set, the right angle, designed for those kind of tires. So, I guess let's get this show going. Now, one thing you'll see done a lot with people with the Goldwing, when they're changing the tire on it, they'll tip it over on the side, all the way on the side, and that's how they're going to get to their tire. And, okay, I get the argument, you don't worry about taking this back piece off. I have a trailer hitch, which I'm going to have to also take off, just the center part between it. I do get that, but in the end, I'm not going to purposely tip over my motorcycle for really any reason. The only exception would be is if I'm putting on a class on how to lift a fallen motorcycle, or if I'm in a class with the topic is how to lift a fallen motorcycle, and part of the curriculum is you set your bike down and you learn to pick it up. Other than that, there ain't no way in hell that I'm going to purposely tip this bike over. That's just my personal rule. I'm just not going to do it. I don't feel that saving what's probably going to be 30 minutes of work to get a tire off, just so I can get the tire off 30 minutes quicker. Tipping over the bike, to me, it don't make sense to me. I have no interest in doing it. Kind of like a car tire deal. And for those of you that think I'm a sissy, whatever, yeah, I get it. You got bigger hands than me, good enough, fine, whatever. It's just my personal preference, and frankly, you're probably not going to convince me otherwise. Kind of like car tire people, same deal. You're not going to convince me around a car tire, sorry, so save your damn breath. God, that was so terribly hard. So terribly hard. One thing I'm going to do is put a bolt back here to keep this in place. Once again, this is not something all you're going to have. That's how I keep my setup for my wire. Now, let's get this little thing off. We'll find a socket. Those bolts are our friend 10mm. Fortunately, I carry tons of 10mm because it seems like that's all you do is lose 10mm. Now, I will explain this whole process to you, but honestly, if you look up how to mount a motorcycle wheel on Motorcyclist online, they have a really good explanation of how to do it, how exactly it's done. But as you can see, so when I started out, my heaviest spot was here. The final test is to move it to 90 degrees and see what it does. Which you can see it's barely moving. So honestly, we're going to call that good. That's probably as close as we're going to get it. Alright, so the back end is back together now. So, we got the first half down. Now we're going to go with the front. Alexa, pause. Now I'm going to show you why you should be changing your valve stems every single time. So, because listen to this. You see that little spot on it? Let me get a flashlight. When I say replace your valve stem every time, I mean it. Because if you don't pay attention, you get that. everything done. Everything's put back on the bike. You can see behind me the front wheel is done. Obviously the back wheel's already done because you've been watching this whole video. So we're going to have a beer real quick and we're going to talk about what we learned. Now if you're not 21, don't be drinking. Okay? This video is designed for, not for kids, but regardless, if you're under the age of 21, don't be drinking. Don't be drinking and riding. This is beer number 1 for the day, and I'm basically going to drink it and clean up tools. We're not going to do any riding tonight. It's just too late. I'm tired anyway. You know, normally I'd be like, hey, let's go ride it, but no, we're just gonna take it easy for the rest of the night. So anyways, what I learned. Well, I've learned changing tires is not easy, which I already knew that. But I'll be honest with you, especially that rear tire, I think changing semi-tires is easier with it. Changing semi-tires manually without use of machines easier than that. That rear wheel was a royal pain in the neck. So next time I do this, I'm actually going to buy a proper bead breaker. I learned the value of that today. Man, that front tire was just stuck on there. Or not the front tire, the rear tire. That front tire come off like a charm. Like, really came off easily. One thing I did do is when I put the clamp over it, I was able to get a board under it. That was one problem I had with the rear wheel, is my C-clamp wasn't quite big enough for that rear wheel. But with the front wheel, I had enough room where I could get it around so that other side would break for me. And that front tire just come off easier. That's all there was to it. Other things I've learned. I'm going to buy 2 more of these for the next time I do it, because it's almost impossible to move the things around in the rims when you're working a tire on it. And there are a few scratches on my rims, which, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. I just am not. I'm not as crazy about the tires as some people are. So maybe eventually I'll change them, but that's another thing, is I'm gonna buy a second set of those. I mean, they're like $10, so they're worth it. The other thing, I definitely see the value of having a set that's got 3 of these in it. With these little holders, and especially this thing. This little tool, this is the business tool, man. I mean, this tool works like a champ. Otherwise, wheel balancing went better than I thought it would. I'm very happy with the metal valve stems. I think they were a good idea, considering the back one was also almost disintegrated, and I actually pulled the front one off my hand. As you can see, there wasn't much left of it. That little wheel balancer I bought from Pittsburgh from Harbor Freight works really good. My front tire, that tire was built really good because I put the mark on the valve stem, and it's only got, honestly, I probably could have done it with maybe just under a quarter pound of weight. So a quarter pound is balancing that front wheel, which I thought was phenomenal, that balanced as good as it did. Also, that old, so when I was talking about having issues, you gotta watch your rotors on your front wheels. Honestly, that old rear tire I pulled off, that thing works really good to keep that off the ground. A lot better than wood, I thought. So I think I'm gonna keep that rear tire anyway, and I'm gonna put that in the shed, and I'm gonna use that the next time I gotta change tires on a bike. Otherwise, it was a good, productive day. We got things switched out on the bike. Now we're at the point where we can actually go ride now. So if things go right, maybe tomorrow we'll head to the parking lot, do some drills, maybe get out for a little bit of ride, but I definitely want to do some drills. Obviously, we want to get the little bit of slick knocked off those tires, because we'll need to stick them up just a little bit. But otherwise, it was a great, fun, productive party. And keep yourself safe. Obviously, you know all the other stuff you're supposed to be doing. But one thing I'll leave you with is, once again, keep the rubber side down and enjoy the ride. Have a good day.